believe if you could place a link to your organization in the chat as well, that'd be great for
Yes.
everybody.
Sure.
I myself have attended their events, and it's such a wonderful, accessible group of people who have amazing range of expertise. So I found it very useful, and obviously, Rainey, you yourself are exceptionally well versed in the space. So I appreciate your input
Thank
always.
you. I
Um,
appreciate it. Awesome.
yeah,
Thanks for letting me have a minute here today.
Thank you. Okay, and now I want to just quickly call Stephen Jetpack up, just because you're also one of our partners in this
Hey
event.
guys.
Hey, Stephen, can you just tell a little bit about what you do and your insight, what you found in the market? Just a couple minutes of input, and what that would be helpful for everybody here.
Yeah, absolutely. So here at Jetpack, we've kind of positioned ourselves to be the one-stop shop in the manufacturing and fulfillment world. When you work with a provider such as Jetpack, at least where we've been able to hone in on some strengths for us, we have the ability to offer our clients R&D and formulation help. We are the manufacturer of the goods when it comes to supplements in the nutraceutical space. We are also the labeler who prints out the label that goes on the finished unit. And then we've honed in on having the other piece of the business as well, which would be the 3PL and the fulfillment. So really we've honed in on kind of being that one-stop shop and then utilizing other connections such as the individuals you see on this meeting, such as Josh, as being those marketing partners. And really what that does for a client is it takes all of the extra pieces off their plate, allows us to focus on our strengths to where now they can go in and focus in on their marketing and sales. And allows them to be a lot more successful and not have to worry about the other entities of the business and kind of have 3 or 4 different companies. I have one guy that does manufacturing, one that does fulfillment, this is my labeler. Keeps it easy, that way you only have one other person that you're talking to.
Nice. Thank you, Stephen. Again, Jetpack I go to for a lot of insight on a lot of things, and actually also worked with Tyshawn from Green Regiment. So we met Tyshawn through Stephen. So thank you again. Okay, with that, I'm going to bring up, so basically how this is going to work, we're going to start with our first module. Why would you even want to sell on TikTok? How do you actually do it? Specifically, we're going to talk about data between beauty, health, and pet. And that's going to be our esteemed colleague, partner, and friend, Jessamine or Fan Dong. Fan, I'm going to make you a host just for a second so you can put your camera on. Everyone else who's listening here, feel free to turn off your cameras. This way you can do everything you want, from manage your bodily functions to daydream. But I'm going to start with just Jessamine on the camera. Jessamine, if you should have control right now to be able to put your camera on. Everyone else, you can turn your cameras on, unless you guys want to do some quick intros. But I think great. You're going to get a chance to intro yourself right before each of your sessions. So if Hong and Stephen, if anyone else want to turn off your cameras, feel free. I'm going to reclaim hosts, and we're going to get rocking and rolling. So, Jessamine, thanks for coming on board.
Oh, my pleasure.
This is Jessamine's module here. These are slides. There's also previous content we've had from other speakers, the videos around the broader topic. Feel free to come into this module. And then if you want to connect with Jessamine or TikTok directly, those are some links right there. Again, I'm going to get started right now. Full screen. We're going to you, Fan.
Okay, thank you so much. And good morning, everyone. So I'm sure afterwards, Sophie from TikTok will give you a more comprehensive understanding of TikTok as a platform. But today I'll be more focused on the 3 industries that's most relevant to today's topic, including beauty, health, and pets. So I think the first question will be, why TikTok? Because we have already got websites, we've got Amazon, there's so many places that you will be able to sell. Then why would you still want to have a presence on TikTok? And this is a good reason behind it. And I'm going to be sharing some of the data with you. So Josh, if we go to the previous slides. So first of all, you will be able to see that, especially among young people and people who are actually on social media, it is still the undisputable #1 app for 5 consecutive years. And more importantly, you have really engaged audiences over there who are actively consuming content. That means if your content is good, it's relevant, well, it's really easy to trigger them to consumption pattern. And more importantly, for the third graph, you will be able to see on the right, well, we know that people have presence on multiple social channels, but if you were to take a look at this, almost half of people are solely on TikTok. if they have to make a choice between TikTok and all the other options out there. So this is kind of also important reason why you do need to have a presence on TikTok, because if by the end of the day, they only have time for one social media, and this will be the place to be. And more importantly, a lot of times people have the impression like, well, TikTok is like young kids. They may not have like the purchase power. But then when you look at the data over here, you will be able to see that they're really kind of like affluent, both in terms of using new technologies and also in terms of making purchase. And when you look at the profile of people who are actually actively using TikTok Shop, you will be able to see that, well, it's actually also falling to the sweet spot for like general retailers, which are looking for like women 30 and above who actually have the purchase power, also have time to go through the content, and they're actually making content, and they're also looking for like items they will be interested in and put money behind it. Okay, so the second part, I will be going to the details and share some of the industry overview, like one by one in different sectors. So we're gonna get started. So this is basically the top 3 best performers on beauty in terms of GMV. So that's like the gross like merchandise volumes, or what we call like sales. As you will be able to see that the first one is the Beach Fever. So kind of like the influencer is also like the brand owner. So he's really invested in selling those items online. It's kind of like a hair curly tool for you. And every day, if you were to go to TikTok, you will not only get access to like the products, what kind of products are provided there, you're getting tips, best styling tips for you, for women, and also like for men who are looking for like gifts for your girlfriend, for your wife. So it's kind of like building up a very active community over there. And then the second place will be Tarte. So this might be a brand like most of you are very familiar with. And when you look at like the best selling item, it's actually like mascara and serum. So like once again, very female oriented. And the before after contrast is so big. And that's why whenever they post a video on TikTok, it's really like eye opener for most of the users and buyers. And then the third one is actually a Grunana. And as you can see that in terms of like GMV generated, it's even higher than Tarte. And some of like the best performing items is kind of having that similar like before and after contrast. So this is kind of like also giving us some lessons when you're trying to promote item. You want to make sure that you choose the specific product that's visually impactful to your audiences, because by the end of the day, TikTok is still like a content platform. You want to provide meaningful and eyes-opening content for your users. And then with that, we'll move on to the new sector.
Sure. And
Yeah.
just to understand, when you say the before and after, what are we referring to? Could you elaborate a little further?
It's like before you put on the mascara,
Mhm.
like maybe like your eyes look really tired, exhausted, and after you're using the mascara, it's like, wow, you're kind of having that dazzling effect.
Transformational stuff. Like, yeah, I see.
Right.
Okay, great. So I'm the before, by the way. I have the pimples and stuff, right? I have this pimple. So I need the after, but we'll deal with that later.
Yeah,
Okay,
you can do the editing after.
I appreciate that. Okay.
So now we'll go on to health. As you can see, that number 1 seller now is micro ingredients. And then the second place is Mia Mia More. And then the third place is Doyava. And so far, we've been seeing a very interesting trend. It's like things that have been working on Amazon do not always translate to TikTok. For example, like some of the gummies that were really popular on Amazon, we haven't been really seeing any traction on TikTok. What has been working, having like a plant-based products, like health related, and also like women oriented, those ones have been like performing really well. And then we'll move on to the next sector. So for pet, well, it's essentially like building up a connection with all the pet owners and your pets, how to like enjoy a day with your pets. So like all the top performers, and if you were to look at the items, it's very like utility driven. Okay, because we know that especially for dogs and cats, they shed. So what's the best like solution to that? So those will be like vacuums, like cleaners, and also like how to keep them beautiful. You want to give them like grooming kits. So when you look at this, most of the time, like design wise, it might be more like a standard product. But then when you kind of incorporate a standard product with the actual concept behind it, essentially like how to use a product to build up a connection between you as an owner and your pet. It's like a family relationship. And then the whole product actually have a meaning behind it for the users. So once again, it ties back to the very essence of TikTok as a platform. You want to like convey a message through a really good piece of content. And then based on this, as I kind of like pinpointed already, but then in order to drive your sales on TikTok, you do have to do it with the right kind of content. And we're going to go to the details on how you're going to do it. So we're going to give you some of the showcases. The first one will be beauty. Okay, well, if you keep click on the photos, Josh, you'll be able to see that. Well, first of all, like it's very like dopamine driven. You need to give them the great like color combination. It's like very soothing to your eyes, very pleasant to attract their attention in the first place. And then I was talking about like the transformational before and after based on the mascara I was referring to. You want to give them an instant shock. Wow, if I were to purchase it now, I can have the whole like transformation immediately. Okay, so this is kind of like the context between some of the best performing content. And then the third thing, which is also very important, you don't always have to be like glorious, like an actual supermodel to sell like beauty related products. Because what people are looking for is essentially authenticity. Because there's so many like ads fit content over there everywhere on all kinds of platforms, including TikTok. So they want to know what actually works, what actually is suitable for me. So you do have to like build up the connection. Like the third video we were talking about, she's not even like putting any makeup on her face. So you're kind of like trying to convey the message of authenticity. I'm gonna introducing something that I tested myself. It actually works. So you should try it yourself. And then for health, it's like the gist is very similar. And once again, if you were to go through like some of the best performing videos, it's more about authenticity because everyone is different. What works for you may not work for someone else. So in most of the cases, like the influencers, they will be trying to telling you, okay, so it's not only for me. Okay, I also like recommend it to some of the friends, and here are the results from my friends. And also like my family members, they're using that or testing that out too, and it works for them. So it's kind of like have a more like a general application. So maybe it's time for you to try that as well. So that's kind of like the solution on content. And when you look at it, it's not like with good lighting, like professionally made, but then it's all about a very authentic environment. And those people look real. They look really sincere. They're not just trying to sell you some products. They're trying to share a finding experience with you. And with that, we'll go to pets. Once again, we said some of the best selling products, they're very like utility driven. And what would be best than to share the actual like before and after video, like how your pets really enjoy the toy. It's like not too noisy to the extent it's kind of like irritating for the dogs because dogs, they do have like sensitive ears. Okay. So like everything will be like a very pleasant process feel. And then you will be able to see that the toy is not just useful, but becoming kind of like a pleasant daily routine for your baby dog. And people really build up the emotional connection that way. Yeah, so TSP is basically a short for like TikTok shops. So we'll be sharing some of the tips for your everyday like daily operation. Yeah, so once again, what is the good content? Essentially, you're trying to multiply target audience with the selling points to have kind of like amplification effect. By the end of the day, the first step is always trying to do the customer analysis, do your research, knowing what's the base, what's the demo of your customer. And then based on that, you will be able to kind of narrow down the audience target for TikTok. And then based on that target, then you kind of have to summarize a very compelling selling point. So those will be like 3 steps. The first one will be the selling points should be able to generate attention in the first place. Okay, so it's more like an eye-catching hook to get them interested and stay in that video. So the second step will be you try to build up like the understanding of your products. Okay, most of the time we're doing that through like reviews, or giving them kind of like a very clear selling point on why you should be using this. Okay, maybe you have tried so many similar products, but those are the pain points for you as a customer, and we have been solving those pain points in easiest way for you. Okay, then the third step will be you're trying to call to action. You have to give them a very clear action, because TikTok is kind of like a closed loop. It's not directing out to some website, to a different portal. You can complete all the transactions just on the platform. So you always want to like point them to the yellow shopping cart and tell them that, well, if you like it, it's very easy and hassle-free. Just make the purchase right now by click on the yellow shopping cart to close the loop to the lower funnel. Yeah, so that's essentially everything I would like to share on my part. And if you have any questions, you can contact me.
I do have questions before you go, as well as anybody here who wants to add questions, please place them in the chat. This is your time. We have we will field these questions. If you haven't filled out the poll, by the way, we've got the little poll brewing here. 7 of 21 of you have done it, so feel free to continue. But while you're doing that, Jessamine, there's two things that I want to understand. One, you've talked to me a little bit about how this isn't really a branding exercise. This is more of it's sometimes different than what companies will think of when they come on to TikTok. Could you talk a little bit about that? I know we may get into that a little later as well.
Yeah, because for TikTok, a lot of times, once again, it comes down to content. And the reason why they have so many good content is because of influencers. So a lot of times when brands, they come to like TikTok, well, you do have like the branding plan. So that's kind of, you're trying to get more impressions and build up a good image over there. So for that, a lot of times you're still doing a very like traditional media branding kind of like practices. But if you want to like converge that with actual sales, especially when it comes to like conversion, we have been seeing that like repetitively. You do not do it through the traditional like branding campaign, which means you're doing like a traditional TV ad spots kind of like content that do not necessarily have the authenticity or connection with your target audience. But then you're trying to make kind of like affiliate type of video that directly speak to the audience that's already a loyal base to the influencers. So you kind of do have to customize your content to whatever that target audience is. And with that, you're not only building up your brand, but you're kind of like building up immediate conversion in sales through that video pace. So we have been working with a lot of brands. At the beginning, they still want to like run it the traditional way, like the kind of influencers they're choosing may still be full like the branding play, like the more like beautiful, glorious supermodel look. Yes, that works for like a general branding if you're only interested in generate kind of impression out there. But then if you really want to build up a connection and potentially convert that into sales, then you should choose what we call like the nano or micro level like influencers who have a really loyal base but may not go to like 1 million followers. Okay, we find the sweet spot to be like around 20K to like 300K. So those kind of like influencers will be the ones who can actually sell your products.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. And that's also hard as a brand when you go in there and you say, no, but we spent so much work, curating our brand messaging, and we're going to let this creator go ahead and run with it. And it takes a leap. I really appreciate it. Again, Fan, I put a link to your site in there, but of course, feel free to send your LinkedIn or whatever you want there for people following along. That's that first module. We're going to skip the second module. The second module, though, is also Jessamine or Fan talking. You can watch a video of her chatting a little bit about similar topics that you just talked about. We also have an interview with a brand that's really interesting that has gone from 70% of their sales on Amazon to 70% on TikTok within 6 months, and not cannibalizing their Amazon sales. So very interesting video there on the second module. And then of course, slides around how would you work with an agency? What does that look like? So with that, we're going to skip that module and we're going to go to Hong coming on down from Creator Rev here, talking about creator engagement. I find this perfectly timely as to our conversation, because it is, how do you work with creators effectively? So let's dive in. Hong, come on down. Do I have to make you? I probably have to make you some sort of, hold on, let's make you.
Yes, can you please make me host so I can start my camera?
I absolutely will once I figure that part out. Hold on, let me just get out of here, get over here, find you, and I'm gonna make you a host. Okay. Tell us when you're hosty.
I am not the host yet. Okay, now I am.
No. Okay, you're on. I'm reclaiming host. All right, everybody. Hong, could you just give us a quick intro to who you are and how you've become such an expert at this?
Yes, hi everyone. My name's Hong. I am the head of marketing and branding at Creator Rev. We are the #1 TikTok agency partner. So pretty much I got started in influencer marketing and working with influencers about 10 years ago when it first became a thing. And, these creators and thought leaders started popping up in social media. I also had my own beauty blog and have worked with brands as an influencer, such as Sephora, Google, a lot of corporate brands like that. And then I've also run large scale campaigns with mega influencers for big corporate brands as well, including LA Fitness, LG, DeLonghi, and a handful of others. So here at Creator Rev, it's been wonderful because we actually have amassed the biggest influencer network that we manage within TikTok Shop. And we can go more into that later. But yeah.
I want to just say some things that you won't say. Hong has a very unique skill set in terms of her understanding of what creators are going through and brands. Whenever I'm in LA and we're hanging out, there's always a ton of creators who are just genuinely friends with Hong. So it's really fun to watch. And then also her ability to articulate the brand needs to the creators and vice versa has been fascinating. So I appreciate your input today.
Oh, thank you so much, Josh. Yeah, so we can definitely dive right into this if that's good.
Let's do it.
Awesome. So we put together this deck to just kind of share with you and educate, shop owners how to work with creators. It's just like a 101 things to look out for, where we're at with the creator ecosystem within TikTok Shop and all the advantages that you can have as a shop owner to grow a new revenue stream for your business. So currently the creator ecosystem on TikTok Shop, it's been 7 months since TikTok has fully launched in the US, and there are now over 100,000 creators in TikTok Shop. That number might be a lot higher now. But Creator Rev manages the largest talent pool. So we have over 5,000 creators that we manage exclusively. So pretty much they're part of our network. And whenever we have a great brand client who would be a great match for them, we kind of match make both sides. And if the brand approves one of our creators, then we pair them together and we manage the whole creative process to make sure that our creators know the value points of the brand and can best sell their products through engaging videos. It kind of cuts out the brand having to look for all the creators, because we have some of the most talented ones within our network. The top creators are generating hundreds of thousands of dollars in monthly product sales each for the brands that they work with. So there's an immense opportunity to grow your brand and sell more products on TikTok Shop, because it's obviously been proven to be a model that works. TikTok Shop creators partner with product lines just like yours. And, you want to work with them because they're pros in taking a product and really making it relatable and doing things like Fan mentioned, like demonstrations or drastic, like before and after, that really just gives the audience the wow factor. And they do that day in and day out, especially the top creators within TikTok Shop. They're able to do that with authenticity and are able to entertain, and it really helps to convert sales. So back to the basics, influencers 101. I would say the influencer marketing space has been around for over 10 years now. Quickly, I just try to think about questions that I get a lot from business owners who are getting their feet wet with working with creators. What is a micro creator versus a macro? So micro creators are people with, maybe 10,000 followers, 20,000 followers. They still are very connected to their community. They haven't blown up so much that, they're unrelatable to people sometimes. So these are people who are big within their communities, and their audience may be smaller, but they definitely look to them for product recommendations, fun things to do. And they kind of follow their day to day. And this has been great for, from what we've seen with the data. Micro influencers actually sell quite well on TikTok Shop. So definitely want to encourage, shop owners who are getting their feet wet with this to not overpass them for a macro just because of the follower count. And the macro creators are people with, 200, 300,000 followers all the way up to like 1 million, 20 million north. And these are people who have a proven track record of their videos going viral. They've built a fan base that sometimes is, more of a community. Other times it's more, individualistic, but they look up to this person and they enjoy watching their content. So we also have macros within our network of creators on TikTok Shop. And, they're great for brand deal activations as well. So if you want like a PR campaign, it's essentially like back in the day, hiring a celebrity to be the face for a season of your clothing line. So you need to identify your compatible niches and who will sell your products authentically and successfully. That is the #1 priority when it comes to selecting which influencers to work with. I could not stress more to not get hung up on the follower count and thinking like just because they have a lot of like followers that will convert the most for you. You have to kind of consider, their audience base, and if that falls within your targeted demographic of, purchasers and new customers. Small influencer campaigns versus large scale activations. Why should you do one or the other? So with TikTok Shop, it's a little bit different. So I think Fan and Josh touched on this, but with TikTok Shop, it's more of a numbers game. So you do want to work with a larger amount of creators to pretty much like test out like which content works the best, who's a great match that's actually converting, and you can work with them again. And so with this, it's not so much of a branding play. It's more so like as many creators as you're comfortable sending out, a free sample to get them to make videos for you. You really want to make a wave and a splash when you enter a TikTok Shop so that you can gather that data and start making your sales. Versus like back in the day, you kind of had a choice when it came to brand campaigns. You can have a small budget and work with a small amount, or a large budget and whatever suited your needs. But with this, it's like very conversions driving. That's like the main goal of TikTok Shop campaigns. So we definitely recommend, as large as you can go in terms of creator count. So TikTok Shop has made it really easy to find influencers, but the only caveat is it can be really cumbersome for shop owners in terms of time and labor. So let's say you're a new, you own a brand and you get your TikTok Shop set up, and all of a sudden you're kind of like, shown a bunch of creators, like hundreds of them. And now like you have to do so smartly, you have to like go through and like check out their profiles and then, click to contact them and all of that. And so it has made it very easy, because back in the day, shop owners would have to peruse Instagram or TikTok and just hope to find people through hashtags. Now this is great because you can see all the creators there, but at the same time, it takes a lot of time and work when most of the business owners that I come across and brand owners just really want to focus on developing their products and furthering their business. And, all of this stuff can be quite a headache for them, but it's great that's there. So we figured it would be really valuable to just kind of, from our experience and, the campaigns that we have run and our network of creators, what we've learned, we can give you best tips as an agency. So things that you should do when you consider working with creators. So first thing, you should work with creators who are versatile with video capabilities. So if someone's just doing selfies all the time and then like, it's just like the same thing all the time, definitely avoid working with creators like that. You want someone dynamic who, does some lifestyle and then does some product and has everything mixed in. Live streaming is also becoming a huge priority for TikTok. They're investing heavily in live stream shopping this year. And so, a green flag for me when I look at creators are those who are already, getting into live streaming, whether they feature products or not. It's a sign that they're interested in connecting with their audience and fans, and that they want to talk one-on-one direct with them. And just knowing that this is like the next phase of TikTok Shop as well, it's really great to work with creators who have the capability and the interest to do both organic shop videos and live stream. Definitely need to research each creator's TikTok Shop sales. So there is the capability now, transparency for shop owners to see like how many, the performance of each creator, so that you can see which ones are really understanding the TikTok Shop platform and they're succeeding and they're actually making conversions for the brands that they're working with, then you would want to be part of that set of brands. But if you don't look at this, then you're not really vetting their performance and you're kind of, sending out a sample and hoping it goes somewhere. You want to watch their past product-based TikToks. So, social media is so flooded with product videos and reviews and all of that. So you want to make sure that, the videos that the creator you want to work with makes on the regular actually has that, genuine, authentic, cheerful presence that you could really see your target audience engaging with. Be open-minded with TikTok Shop talent. So authenticity and quantity of creators videos play a huge role in your success on TikTok Shop. So definitely, like, if you're only used to working with, like, let's say you have a beauty brand and you're used to working with like beauty and lifestyle creators for your brand campaigns in the past, kind of like be open-minded. And the moms in middle America are actually selling extremely well in TikTok Shop, and they're converting beauty products like crazy because people like find them very relatable. And like Fan said, they're not like models. They look a lot more approachable and their videos are a lot more genuine. So just kind of be open-minded there. And this is a great opportunity to kind of branch out and see what else could work outside of what you have been doing.
Couple things, Hong, just to jump right in. Yeah, I mean, I found also when I launched Paris Hilton Skincare for the cross-border, that, you have 44 million followers, and that doesn't necessarily mean they convert. It's really the second, third tier kind of groups that are much more engaged. And I think it's really a great shout out for you, from you. Also, my understanding is May 1st was when TikTok may have changed their algorithm. They're really focused on that live shopping, right? So it's very timely, if I understand that. Okay.
Yeah, and it's been an ongoing effort. A few of our creators are already selling very well on TikTok Shop. At any given hour of the day, we have several creators like live stream products and selling through there. So it's already taken off. And their TikTok is really like helping to, those creators grow and aggregate those lives.
So can some of these brands just start doing some live streaming on their site, or what's the minimum you have to have for your followers for that? Is it?
Typically 5,000 followers,
Okay.
and then you can start live streaming. But I would have to fact check that because
Oh, that's
sometimes the
fine.
number changes.
Generally, it's not like you can just start, because I've been trying to do it, but I gotta have somebody who cares about me before I can do it. So, and then also the thing that you've mentioned before, when I've pinged you and said, hey, this creator really sounds really good, and you look at the recent activity and say, look, they've got 1 million followers, but in the last 2 months, most of their views are pretty low, and that's a really interesting point that I actually overlooked.
Yes, it's the algorithm is always something that creators have an up and down relationship with. But I think it actually might have recently changed to 1,000. So once you hit 1,000, you can live stream. But yeah, don't hold me to
that. Right, sure. But the concept of the most recent viewership is more important than the total number of followers, in a sense.
Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, unless they're buying views, and you definitely don't want to work with a creator like that. There's ways of telling that. But yeah, if it's a micro creator, I have a friend that's a police officer, but she's beautiful. And she like posted a few videos of her just like, doing makeup or something. And like her first 3 videos, each of them hit like 500K to 1 million views. Nice. That's really cool because it was interesting, it could happen to anyone. And she had like 0 followers at that point.
Okay, things to avoid.
All right, so things to avoid. Do not partner with a TikTok Shop creator without screening them first for their organic engagement beforehand. So that goes right into what we were just talking about. You want to take that extra 20 seconds to go to their profile and see, like, not their pinned videos at the top, because a lot of creators will pin the first row will be like their best performing ever. You want to look at the second row and below and see, like how that's been doing and how many views it got, and like the comments and what kind of comments came in, because that's going to be an indicative of how effective that creator will be for you. Avoid working with creators whose audience falls outside of your target audience and consumer demographic, even if they have a high follower account. So again, I know I keep saying this, but there's so many reasons that brand owners are attracted to these high followed creators, because they're often beautiful and they have this high following. But you want to just look at, like, take a gander through who's commenting. Take a gander at their follow, just do a spot check through their followers and just see, if it's mainly Gen Z audience, like followers that they have, does your product, like, appeal to that that demographic, and can they afford your product, things like that. And if you're more targeting millennials or older, you're better off finding like a mid-sized creator with far less followers, but their audience is saturated with who you want to be seeing your product. Don't partner with influencers who have not posted recently on TikTok, or those who don't feature any product videos at all. So this is something that, you know, brands overlook checking, but it's really important because the TikTok algorithm is essentially like a muscle that you have to work out. And if a creator hasn't posted in 6 months, there really is no reason to be engaging with them and, you know, sending them product and hoping that works on TikTok Shop, even if they're in the program. They just have been inactive. So look out for that. Don't partner with influencers who have not posted. We already did that one. Don't be afraid to explore different creator categories if their followers align. So, you know, just also thinking outside the box. Like if you have a beauty brand, you could work with a male creator who surprises his wife for Valentine's Day. And, you know, oftentimes these male creators, especially the dads, have a lot of millennial female followings. Because they're fun to watch or they're attractive and they're gifting their wife something. Well, that gets put in front of the eyes of their followers who fall right within your demographic of millennial females, you know, who are interested in that. And this last point is really important. Don't assume creators know your product's benefit points. Providing them with a brand and product education is really crucial for success for when they go into video creation for your product. You know, you would think that when you go through all of the steps to send them a product and you're overextending yourself there, that they would check out your website and learn these things. And that's not going to happen most of the time. They're really busy. They have a lot of brand deals. So just taking that extra initiative to introduce yourself, you know, ask them if they're open to getting on a call, if they're someone that you really want to work with long-term and can see being a good partner, just somehow sharing with them, even in an email, like 3 brand value points or 3 product value points that they can, you know, go over in their video, demonstrate. That all goes a really long way. Otherwise, they are lost and they have your product on hand and it might be like late at night and they're just going to do a video that doesn't really share much of like what you have to offer or your product has to offer. So yeah, taking those extra time to do that is really important. Things to avoid on TikTok Shop with creators. Oh, sorry, I messed up. I should have changed this title, but you can go back to that page. This is just about outreach. So the title's wrong. Sorry, guys, I'll fix that. So outreach methods right now that's available to shop owners in TikTok Shop is you can connect with the creators one click. And so you can like just kind of engage and invite all of them like, hey, do you want us to send you a free sample? And for every sale that you make of this product, you can get, you know, X amount of affiliate percentage back. You know, it could be 10, it could be 20. The higher it is, obviously, the more creators will say yes. And if it's someone who you really want to work with and you invited them through the TikTok Shop platform, but they haven't replied, you can direct message them. And then as a last resort, you can email them as well, if it's someone that you really, really want. But with that being said, clearly these are a lot of steps to take. And from our findings, like, you know, a new shop, even a notable brand can go out into the TikTok Shop platform and invite like 20 creators or 100, and maybe only 10% will reply back. You send out the products to them and maybe 50% will actually make the videos, if that. Sometimes because they're not getting paid up front for the video, it's through affiliate, right? So like sometimes they'll forget, sometimes they just don't make it. And that really is sad to see because, you know, every shop owner puts out the money for the shipping and the product. And so to not get a video back is a huge bummer. But with that being said, that's kind of the solution that we strive to provide for our clients, our brand clients. So we just, since TikTok Shop is such a numbers game, we take away all of the work needed and we provide a turnkey solution pretty much from like account, like shop setup. If you haven't done that, if you've already set up your shop, we just go right in and like, you know, find the best creators within our network. They always follow through with videos because they're committed to us with different other campaigns and opportunities. And you won't get that dropout rate and waste time and money from, you know, working with us and having us run all of that for you.
That's interesting. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a question that people would have, which is why don't I just do this myself? Obviously, if anybody's really trying to do this on Instagram, for example, they've already seen that this is a major time suck. And you have relationships that you leverage. So somebody would probably be interested, even if they haven't heard of the brand before, they know Creator Rev and they don't want to ruin their relationship there. So they're definitely going to follow through, is what I understand from this dynamic.
Definitely, yes. It's quite a large number of creators that, you know, we are in touch with on a you know, regular basis, and matchmaking them with our brand clients. But they do feel a lot of emotional and just professional connection to us, because we also bring them like new opportunities. You know, we'll have events or we'll have brand deals that are outside of TikTok Shop that we submit them for. So this close relationship is really beneficial to them. So they don't want to disappoint. And genuinely, like I guess like the one-on-ones that we provide with them, and just the talks, check-ins, like every week we have check-ins with the creators. We have like a kind of like a powwow. It's happening tonight, so I'm running it tonight. But any creator can join if they have time. And in those powwows, we just kind of share like, here's some news, here's some, you know, new products that we have, and what have you guys been struggling with? And it's built such a great community. And these are all things that, you know, we have facilitated, and we really strive to bring a lot of value to the creators. So in turn, they can like create the best videos and do the best work for our products and our shop clients as well.
Awesome. Hong from Creator Rev, thank you so much for joining us and downloading this input. This is your information, and this is you. Is that snow in the background? I'm confused because it's a warm environment.
Yeah, it was a month and a half ago in Idlewild. It's a funky town in the mountains outside of LA, like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Feel free to ask questions in the chat, and Hong will check back in with you, I'm sure, along the way. And thank you again so much for your time.
Of course.
We'll see
Thank
you
you,
soon.
Josh.
All right, so now we're getting into the live consultation, the moment everyone's been waiting for, a moment to see Tyshawn, see if he's still physically fit. He always is. Tyshawn, come on down. I got to make you a host probably.
Please do.
Okay, I'm working on it, as you know. Let me see. Where is this darn button? Hold on. There we go. I got it. I'm making you a host. Change host.
And there we are.
Okay, and now I'm going to reclaim, and then I'm going to make Jade a host, because Jade is going to come on down as well. Jade, you are now host. Can you show yourself?
Yes. Hi.
Hi. Okay, so now let's just get to it. I'm really excited about having you both on. I want to give Tyshawn you a chance first to just talk about your brand. What have you been doing? How did this come about? You tell us the origin story. And then we're going to dive into your objectives around specifically TikTok Shop.
Okay, so my name is Tyshawn Bryant. I'm the founder and CEO of Green Regimen. So Green Regimen is a organic and non-GMO optimal health supplement company. I started the company because a few years back, my mom had cancer. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. And in essence, I changed her diet to a plant-based diet, gave her green smoothies. And as a result, she lost 50 pounds, and she's been cancer-free ever since that time period. So I then decided to then take those ingredients and add them to a plant-based nutritional shake, which is our flagship product that we sell. We also sell energy and focus capsules, and we have a brand new product that's more angled for women's health and gut optimization supplements. So we currently sell on Amazon off of our own website, greenregimen.com, and we currently sell retail in Los Angeles at one of the best, probably the best, I guess, organic market called Air One. So I've been hearing so much about TikTok, so that's why I'm here. I can't wait to see what Jay can do for us.
Tyshawn, thank you. And yes, and if anybody knows, we have a video actually we're going to be putting out with my interview with Tyshawn, and I do actually taste his product live, and I found it glorious. I taste a lot of protein shakes, and I really like the taste. There's no aftertaste. There's no chemical kind of thing. I put the link in here if you like it and you want to buy it. Great, support Tyshawn. Now, also,
Thank you,
I
John.
want to just call out something. Tyshawn lives and breathes his company. We always talk about, you will never see him without that shirt on. He's all around town, but also very interesting thing he just did at GNC, a little hack that I want you to just say, just to give you an idea, a peek into the mindset that any entrepreneur needs to really have, but specifically when you're thinking about leveraging the power of social. So could you just tell us that story real quick?
Oh, so yeah, so I applied for this GNC competition, And we're actually a finalist for the competition. But what I decided to do was I contacted all of our followers on social media and I said, hey, please tag GNC and let them know that you would like to see our products on their shelves. So GNC obviously got the tags, a whole bunch of tags. So we'll be flying out there in about a week and a half to do a presentation for them. So we'll see what happens.
Because I remember the post. You had the post of you on, and you put it on the shelf, and people are like, "What? It's there?" And you're like, "Shouldn't it be on the shelf?" But it wasn't then. And not that everyone should go do this. GNC is going to probably shut it all down. But great idea, creative, and really actionable. So awesome. All right, with that, Tyshawn, I'm going to just pass it over to Jade. Jade, can you just give a quick intro to your background, how you got in all this while we're setting up here?
Hi, absolutely. Thank you, Josh, for your introduction. And so, hello, everyone. My name is Jade. And currently, I'm the head of account management at WaveUp. You're maybe seeing that you're hearing a different company name. So, for us, that we do have a new ads team that's adding on from our TikTok service shop team that's for creator services. So, I think will be better if I give a little bit timeline about TikTok Shop. So, for TikTok Shop, about a year ago when it launched last year, it was all about the creators. So it was more about a numbers game. The TikTok Shop is trying to grow. So the first thing you want to do when you grow on your TikTok Shop is that you get your right content, you send out to creators and get the best content out there for you and find the right content for you. And so in that way, TikTok will reward you with more organic views and conversions. And in that sense, that's the main thing you should do for your success on TikTok Shop. But right now, coming into this year, we're seeing more and more people getting to know TikTok Shop, and the platform has grown. So at this point, now it is time. Now the market has grown, the audience has grown. So right now, it's time to add on to that. And so add on to the second part is to find the right audience for your content, which is where we come in as my personal background. I have been working with TikTok and social marketing and marketing. I have done branding. I have done creator marketing. I have done ads. So right now I have been someone who, even though TikTok has been a relatively new platform, I have been working with social marketing as well as TikTok marketing for the longest time I can remember. So because of that, I think I'm leading a team with the capabilities of TikTok strategy as well as selling on TikTok, and for you to provide solutions for people like Tyshawn or anyone who are listening who might be interested in selling on TikTok Shop. So moving forward, yes.
Yes, before you jump, great. Thank you very much. I just want to level set here for everybody on the call. Let's be very straightforward. TikTok is the sister company of a Chinese company called Douyin. Douyin has been active and operating in China very effectively. The Chinese general market is very quantitative, so it's not just about making a nice feel-good video. They want to make sure it's converting, much more so in a lot of ways than us. They very much are around the numbers and really living and breathing in conversion. Jade has been living in that space in China for a while. She's here in the US. She is bringing a lot of that knowledge over, and it's ahead of us in terms of how we think about social commerce. Just to be clear, I was in China for about 7 years. I'm familiar with there's certain things that we can learn from them, certain things they can learn from us. But in terms of social commerce, they are ahead of us. And with that, we're bringing somebody who is Jade, who's been living in what I would call is our future of social commerce. So thanks for visiting us in the present, Jade. And
thank you, Josh.
Yes, I'm going to let you rock and roll with Tyshawn, and I'll just be here to click the slides.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So just a little bit background. So I did get to talk to Tyshawn once before we did this whole proposal. So this is pretty much what you can expect when you do talk to us at CreatorRev or WaveUp, that this is something that we do. So firstly, the main thing we want to know about TikTok Shop, as of now, the logic behind it is still finding your star product. So usually we have one viral product, one or two, and that will be coming from the main revenue of your store. So so for us, the most important thing, if some a lot of sellers and brands, they have a lot of SKUs. So we want to talk to you guys and identify some of the main selling product we want to put our focus on and put our investment on. So the first thing, we do see that, of course, this is the best-selling product on your website and on Amazon, which is your protein powder. So we do see that, of course, we did have a discussion about if this makes sense, if this is something that's right for TikTok, and this is something that's right for you, if you need to cut out some part of the commission from the TikTok Shop platform. So that's something that we can consider moving forward. But this is something just from a micro perspective. This is something that makes sense for us as something that we can lead more revenue, especially with a great story. And the second part is the energy and focus capsule. This is also a really best-selling product from your website. At the same time, we really think this is something that's easy to sell, and we have been seeing something similar products along the line with TikTok Shop. Also, because this is at a little bit of a lower price point, that's also a little bit better for TikTok Shop. So this is something also is better for someone to pay attention to for your product. So right now we see the sweet spot is under $30 to $50, depending on what category you're at. So if there's anything you're selling that's a little bit over 50 to 60, depending on your category, you might want to consider trying to convert that into a package a little bit smaller, or maybe something, or if you have different SKUs that can fit that, if it's still a good product for you. So yeah, moving forward, as the ones that we have identified so far, moving forward to analyze their competitive product. So for this one, this is one of the best-selling vegan protein powder on TikTok Shop. So as of right now, you can see, so the selling price is 32, and we can see a little bit of their weight maybe it's a little bit different. And so right now they have sold about 600 of their packages, and this was around a monthly revenue. Okay, so this is something that you can expect but we haven't really seen they are doing a lot of content or anything on TikTok. So this is something that they haven't really been trying really hard, but this is just something that's pretty organic so far. Yes, Josh.
Yeah, could you break this down for us so we understand? So this is Wellness vegan protein powder. It's priced at $32, but
Yes.
TikTok Shop, but then it's listed here at $16. So they made a discount. And then an open plan. What is an open plan?
Yes. So as Hong was discussing earlier about the benefits of working with Creator Rev, one of the things is that on TikTok platform, as a seller, you're open to connect with anyone, any creator who wants to convert your product, right? So how do you do that? That's by opening up an open plan for any creator to apply. So when you are on your when you open your TikTok Shop, there's a seller center, and you can just open this like affiliate marketing partnership program up, and you can put in the number and saying, this is the commission I'm willing to offer for any creator that's willing to work with me. And so this is the open plan. So this is kind of just open market. So you can just talk to anyone and they're going to apply, and you're going to just send samples, and you usually do not pay them upfront. They only get paid by their commission of that amount of your open plan.
Okay, and so for those people, the way I like to think of it is, I call it a bounty, which is actually, I think, the translation what they call it in Chinese. How do you say bounty in Chinese?
赏金任务. Actually, that's the way it's been translated in Chinese sense, but they think open plan was a better translation for it, I guess.
So it doesn't always commute to me, but it is. It's basically the commission you're going to offer. And my understanding is that in general, it's a 10 to 15% commissions more along the lines, right? But they're going high on this.
Well, like it really depends on your category, like especially with beauty and some cosmetics, when some products has really huge margins and they're really looking to sell on a giant amount, they sometimes can up their open plan up to like 30% or even higher. But that's really just depends on how the brand wants to position your product and what your margin points are.
Okay.
And Jay, just a quick question. Is that 25% coming off of the $16 figure or the $32 figure?
That's from the $32 figure. So the 16%, the $16 is only because we register as a new customer. So they're offering us like a really huge amount of discount. So we don't really, this price, you're seeing the pink one, the 16, that's going to be different for everyone. if you're a returning customer, if you're a new one, if you're new to category, if you're on sales, yes.
So what we're looking at here then is the first time buyer deal in TikTok though by Wellius.
Yes.
Okay, so there is 25%, I would imagine 25% comes off the 16 for the first purchase because it's a total purchase, but right? But then they go to
for TikTok, because this is something that they are offering. So everything, the $16 are coming out of their own pocket. So
Meaning
this is
TikTok.
not going to hurt you as a seller.
It's coming out of TikTok's pocket, not Wellius's
Yes.
pocket.
Yes, not
Okay.
Wellis pocket. Yes.
Wow.
This is
Thank you,
yeah.
TikTok.
So this
Sophie,
is
when
how
you
they're
come on.
growing their platform. That's why they're getting so many more sellers onto the platform, because they're growing so robustly at the moment. They're throwing a lot of money into marketing. They're trying to attract their sellers onto their platforms.
Interesting. So they're actually paying for that discount. That's amazing. All right. Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for that.
Yes. So as you can see here, this is the store that's been selling that vegan powder. But as you can see, this doesn't really look like a very professional store, right? So as you this is usually this is the case when this is a shop owned by just someone who owns a store, pretty much, or like or someone like more like a creator. They're selling everything maybe in their own category, or there's something that makes sense to them. So they may not make the best sense as maybe Green Regimen as a brand would do in the future. But this is also just a way that some sellers can grow on TikTok Shop. And we can move forward. And the second one, which I think will be more relevant to the second product of yours, which is your energy capsule. I'm sorry, I think because we migrate into a different format, so there's something a little bit off about the size. So this one is the mushroom capsules. This definitely is kind of on a viral trend on TikTok for a little while, like the mushroom supplements. And so I think this also kind of falls into the superfood category. And this has been quite effective with a lot of you would imagine as you would imagine on TikTok, a lot of young audience trying to get their attention onto product like this. So if we go down.
Oh.
Yeah, so this one, as you can see, this one is more of a actual product kind of store. So this one they're focusing on mushroom capsules, and so mostly their star product was the one we are just looking at. So that one has generated about half of their sales for them. The rest of the other SKUs are generating the rest of the half for them. So this one would be a little bit more balanced. So I would imagine they would have. So what I have been seeing so far is that they have SKUs that's for different packages, but similar products. So they're all the mushroom supplements, but they're in like, maybe 2 packages or 3 packages or bundle, those kind of deals. And so if this is also something that TikTok encourages you to do once you start to grow. Okay. And so moving down, do you have any questions so far?
No, everything sounds great thus far.
Okay. Perfect. So moving down, I think we were talking so much about TikTok as a social commerce platform. So what's the most important thing about that? That is the first step, which is the content. So we're going to give you a little bit of analysis of what their quality content and our formula of how they have been performing. So this is just some of the formula that we usually do. We usually need to hook some eye-catching content in the beginning if either it's a question or it's a concern or it's something that you find very surprising that can attract your audience attention to watch you to move along. And then for them to really have an understanding of your selling point, to understanding of how your product can solve the problem. And then we will really need a very clear call to action. Either it can be a discount or, like we were just saying, to mention to the shopping cart at the bottom right here. This is a very important step, even though this sounds very repetitive. Like, to be honest, I was talking to some of our editors and they were like, I cannot look at the shopping cart one more time, but well, this is very necessary. And this is something that you definitely need to do with all your creators, or at least a gesture or something to give a call to action. Okay. So let's move down to what we have seen with some of their top ads performance. To my surprise, all a lot of their ads performance are coming from them personally. So this is definitely a creator's brand. They kind of started their own brand, or maybe this is something that they have been just affiliate selling on in their own store. So they're usually coming from, so they're very genuine. This is not something very fancy. They kind of just show their workout routine, or how they're in the center one, this is the one they're talking more about the selling points and what's good about it. And the rest of them, they're more about working that product into their daily life and showing that lifestyle. So in this sense, this is another way that I actually have been discussing with you last time about if you want to create more content for TikTok, this would be a great way to start, because if you are gathering your own following, and this can grow your own personal brand and your brand at the same time, and they would connect your personal image. And actually, if you don't mind, if you don't mind me saying, I feel like from my personal interaction with you, like you are a Green Regiment, like you are so connected with your brand. So this will be something that's very helpful for you along the line if you want to create more videos and actually start to convert with your own product. Yes.
Question, Jade, what would you break down the percentage of time Taishan would want to spend on his own channel versus the creator engagement? Because he can do it all day long, but does that convert? Is there a general idea of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, this advice would just be for Taishan personally, not for every brand, because I think, because Taishan is so connected to his brand, and also he has an amazing story as a founder. And, so I think, that's very perfect for that. And also, I think creator, I think the main reason that we are here is to take that burden of working with creators off Taishan. So if he can spend more time with his own product, and also spend more time on the message he wants to convey with his own brand, either through a TikTok video or not, this is not necessary. We can do the creator part, but this is something that can bring value to your own company further down the line. Yeah.
And just a question about the creative part, and maybe you're going to get to this, but my question is, how long would I have the creative license for that specific ad or video that the creator produces?
Yes. So working with Creator Rev, we usually guarantee a 60-day or 30-day authorization video, depending on our package. So that's usually the time frame. But we can discuss with our influencers for a longer authorization if there's anything that we really do need to run a longer period of time.
I just want to call out what exactly that question meant. So certain creators, or all creators, have a right to authorize you to continue to use their content to boost their content, for example. But they could actually say to you, after you've given them, you've paid them, let's say, or given them commission for a specific video, and you say, hey, I'd love you to boost, I want to pay to boost it. They could say to you, no, I'm sorry, or yeah, it's going to cost you $1,000 to do that, right? That's ultimately what we're talking about, is the authorization for use, which comes in the format of a code that they give you to then insert in some place. Is that all? Am I on the right track here, Jade?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Does that make sense to anyone else? All right, next.
So yeah, I think, this will just be just some general advice on what we're going to do. And this is something we're going to give to our influencer as well, like along with your product information about what we think. You can have some ideas about the video, like how to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and some selling points we think they definitely need to highlight about better muscle recovery, improved overall health, to highlight that out of our usual protein powder. And as well as we think in the execution, there should be a lot of more showcase, with not only with the showcase of the product itself, but also highlighting the portability while in different settings, maybe before and after a workout, and in their everyday life, incorporate that into a daily routine of a healthy lifestyle. So this kind of ideas are some we can throw out there just as of right now, and we are really looking forward to discussing with Taishan as the product expert, and what you think your content could be, working with what kind of creators. So as of right now, what we see with the trends is more about with the fitness and wellness community all together, and especially with more of the gym goers or like, workout enthusiasts, those would be the people we're targeting right now, just with the protein shake. But we did say that the brand is trying to have a different image. So this is something we can discuss. Maybe we can targeting with more on female. Yeah.
Good, because I was going to ask you that. So, okay, no problem.
Yes,
I can see
this is just
Tyshawn-
what we see from the platform, but we can go with a different route that works better for, for the brand and the platform.
Okay.
I like the idea of Tyshawn just going to your gym and having everybody taste it on camera, 15 seconds each.
See, you like that idea, but I don't like that idea because most people don't work out. So if it's a lifestyle shake, if it's just a part of someone's lifestyle, so that's why as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, I see the angle that you're going, but I'd want to go in a different angle because the gym is not really like, for example, did you go to the
Yes.
gym this morning?
You're going to ask me?
Exactly.
Well,
No
listen,
one went to the gym this morning except
let
me.
me explain something. I'm in New York right now. I'm traveling, and when I travel, I don't work out. And everyone keeps telling me, but if you're a member of Orange Theory, which I am, they keep pointing out that they're all down the block. So I don't believe that I should have to work out when I'm traveling.
Exactly. But you can still drink a nutritional shake.
I
and
would
that's-
drink. I wish I had your shake today because it actually last time I drank it, it super pumped me up. So yeah, so you're not going after that, and there's no, because sometimes there's an aspirational play where you show people working out, and then like I would watch it because I'm like, hey, if I can't work out, at least I'll watch somebody work out and then drink the shake that they're drinking. So okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this falls into something like I personally really enjoy the shake as someone who actually there was one day I had to miss a meal because I had back-to-back meetings, and it really took the pressure off me, and I feel really fulfilled after drinking the shake, and it's actually something also we can incorporate in this kind of videos as something that can be a substitute for a meal, or as something that can help you just a little quick pick you up for a quick snack or stuff like that. So it can depend on different scenarios on the angle we can go about that.
Absolutely. That's more the direction where I'm looking to head.
So we would change those hashtags, it sounds like, from like you don't want to do workout or fitness, you do more like
Yeah, absolutely.
Lifestyle,
Mhm.
fit. You could say fitness, but not with gym, not working out, because most
Yeah.
people don't do that.
Okay.
But I'm glad that we're, on the same wavelength. So that's great.
these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So can we go back one slide?
Okay.
Okay, so here is the mushroom capsules we were just talking about, and these are their top three performing ads or videos. So as you can see, we were discussing about this last time we met. Actually, we were talking about the energy capsule, and their main target audience from Taisha's website have been I think over 30 at least, right? So that would be more on their age range. But as you can see here for this mushroom capsule, most of their influencers and creators, they're very Gen Z, and they're very falling into the TikTok category. So I think this is a great opportunity to tap into that, to get into contact with creators with a younger audience, either that or even go even further down to what we were talking about earlier with kind of the mommy group, right? Like I think this has been a very effective audience on TikTok for something that's within the 30 to 50 and a female, and they have been really really effective in conversion in our past experiences, and maybe this is something that they can have for their kids as well. So this is an angle that we can go from our just general experience from TikTok, and this is something that we can tap into some new markets for your new growth.
Awesome.
I want to be conscious of time because we have obviously Sophie staying up from TikTok. So let's get touching
Yeah.
on.
I think I'm just going to kind of skip this part. So I think we can discuss over about this later, because we are definitely need to launch into a more detailed discussion about products but this is as well as with what kind of content that we can go from there. So I think I just want to talk about ads for a second. So this is something that you can expect when we move on to the ads part. Usually after step one, we created the right content for you, and we have identified some of them, some of the effective directions, and then that's when we really do need to start to grow with ads. This is when we need to target your right content to your right audience. We have seen this before. We have seen video that's not performing at all. We see them with like only under 1,000 views. But once we start ads on that, because it's a really good content, it's speaking to their right audience, it starts to convert really quickly once we start ads on that video. So in that kind of sense, I'm sorry, it's very important that we do have to find the right audience for that. So in the beginning, if we can see on the left column here, the first step is to identify our star product. I would recommend for green regimen to start with 2 products with the protein powder and 1 more capsule, or 2 capsules or something, so that we can divide by our discussion, your confidence, and our market research, what kind of budget we want to allocate on each of that. And so after that, we're going to start running our ads on our content and see which ones are winning. Usually at this time, we're going to see a different numbers of conversion. There will be one that's clearly winning. And so it will be up to us, our discussion in our weekly meetings, or just during our email, to see if we want to move more to the star product, or you want to grow both product, or maybe like if you want to adjust the ratio. And at this time, at the horse race, the star product has grown. So this is a time when we really need to nourish the star product, really need to actually back it with budget and more content. And we're taking the right direction that we already found and really run with it. So, and after that, I think we are at the point where we can see. So we have we hit a steady number. Right now here, the number we see is our ROAS at 3. So this is a benchmark of supplement in US currently. And this is not a set number, but this is our goal. So usually at this stage 3, at the outbreak period, usually this is after 2 or 3 weeks, we already have hit the steady number. So now is the time when you decide if you want to scale or not, if you want to up your budget a little bit, if you want to see right now, if you are performing well with $1,000, maybe if you want to see if it's going to perform the same when it's 10,000. So, or maybe 5,000. So this will be different when you try to scale, because your audience has changed and has expanded. And during that time, once we know how the numbers go after we scale, now we hit the stable period where we can generate a very steady number of output of revenues for you. And I think after a time period, then we kind of have to restart the process with the new product and with new audience. And if there's any plateau we hit with the numbers, so we're gonna along the way adjust that with you. So yeah, this is pretty much what we have so far. And let's see if we have any questions.
That was my attempt at circling that, by the way. Gosh, it's my hands. I really can do a circle, but this is kind of the idea, though. I'm going to get rid of it so you can actually see it. But you go from left to right. You're going to first identify the products that are working. You're going to grow those products and focus on it. You're going to boost it with ads, and then you're going to try to find that stability of the stable ROI as you proceed with ads. And is that accurate to some
That's
degree?
right. Yes.
Okay. And you suggest a minimum $10,000 really if you're going to start with ad spend to get some. Okay, that's to get a statistically relevant input so that you can actually.
That's right.
The ROI. Okay.
And let me just ask 2 questions that are probably relevant for the founders listening. So first question is, when you're running ads, are you running the ads on the brand's page, or are you running ads on the influencer's page, or both?
I can run ads on any video on TikTok as long as it has a shopping cart link to your shop, link to your product. And so it doesn't really matter where it came from. But in that sense of our service, we are running our ads on the creator's account because we have the creator content. But we are able to do otherwise or any other videos.
Okay.
My understanding when you guys analyze this, Jade, is that you'll look at 100 videos. You'll say, here are the top performing. Those are ones we want to boost. But look at this one. It's really great content. We think it would work. It's just that creator, his or herself, doesn't have a really large or converting audience. So you can pull that out and put it somewhere else.
Yes, that's right.
But it's not that would you post it as
No.
Fulanito's post or you
No,
put,
we're not posting again, so it will be on the creators page.
but you can get more eyeballs on it. The ads are not to get, your ads are to expand beyond that particular creator's audience by showing it to lots of people. That's the idea. But it
Yes,
still
that's right.
shows up as their post.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. And then one more question. I think just to manage expectations for brands, is there like a certain time period that you normally tell your clients that you work with that they can expect to start seeing ROI? Would it be 60 days, 90 days, 4 months? What do you normally?
Yes, usually for that, as you can see here, maybe it's a little bit for the test period and the growth period, it's 7 days and 14 days. Usually would expect to see steady yield after 3 weeks. And to be honest, we usually have a close call protocol once we start a client, once we start an account. So once we do start within one week, 1 or 2 weeks, we usually have a very close eyes on your account, and we will have daily analysis of your data. So during that period of time, we are going to be in close discussion on whether we should stop, because we're spending your real money here. So we want to be very responsible to you.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Just to level set too for people, everybody's got a story of somebody who had a product, all of a sudden they blew up. And
Yeah.
my understanding is, as recent as 2 months ago, that was definitely the case, but organic traffic is really not converting the way it used to, and it really need that ad spend to make this happen. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's something that I did start in the beginning. Especially right now, there are still stories of organic blowing up, but it's just not as effective. It just doesn't happen to everyone anymore.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right. Let me just see what we have another slide here, or is that we may have got it. Good. So, okay. So any other questions you have posted here, Tyshawn, you have any questions or Jade, any other input you have?
Great job, Jade. It's really comprehensive, much more than obviously you had an opportunity to present when I met with you. But I really like your plan, your strategy, and the fact that you're flexible as well, So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to
absolutely. I
further
think,
conversation.
this is, thank you so much, Taishan. And, I think this is, I have really enjoy spending time with you and, learning more about your product, your brand. I think this is something, this is the fun part about my job, right? Is to listen to you guys, listen to your amazing stories and trying to find solutions for you. So this is a very collaborative effort to find the right content, because we know about content, but you know your product and you know your audience. So there is a sweet spot of how we can work together and how we can make this a success. And also, but as we were saying, there's also so much about a numbers game, about how it's more about a selling platform. It's more about having creators run with their ideas about how they want to sell your own product. So we have our strategy, but we also respect the platform. We respect the creators. I think that's the way to go about TikTok Shop and to achieve success here. And if you guys have any other questions, I'm going to drop my email down in the Q&A or in the chat box. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, if you guys want a consultation or have genuine questions about TikTok. Also, I just want to make a quick announcement. If you guys are trying to get on TikTok right now and you guys have violations and video violations, this is happening to everyone. So don't worry, you're not alone. And so right now they're implementing a new AI system to do all the video checkings. So right now the AI is going a little bit wonky, and also they are implementing a new team to redo all of that. And so during this time, it's a little bit of chaotic. If you do get to talk to someone TikTok or trying to find me, I can try to talk to someone for you. But I think this will die down after a week or two. Okay.
That's awesome, Jade. Yeah, please do drop your stuff in the chat for everyone. And thanks a lot for joining. Tyshawn, any other input for other fellow entrepreneurs real quick in a sentence or two?
Pretty much. I think that, well, yeah. So first of all, it's good that you're listening to this type of educational seminar, because you're not going to really get this information by just, responding to emails that you get on marketing or just just contacting people randomly. It's all about the network. So, so congratulations to you for signing up to this program, and definitely reach out with questions, because I think, especially like with services like TikTok, ever changing. There's always updates. So just to keep yourself abreast of what's going on, you want to stay within the network. And thank you, Josh, for having this platform. I mean, this is a fantastic way for us to learn and get insights to build our companies. So appreciate it.
I live for it, man. I love it. All right, Tyshawn, I'll see you, I'm sure, soon. Jade, I'll also see you soon. I'm flying both to LA. You guys are both there, so I'll see you tonight or tomorrow.
Perfect.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you
Bye,
so much.
everybody.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. And now we got to bring in TikTok themselves. So with that, no further ado, Sophie from TikTok, who's been waiting up. So please, let's honor her by being present. Sophie, I'm going to activate you as a host so that you can put your camera on.
Awesome. I'm a host and I'm on. Hi,
Yeah.
folks.
Oh man,
Cool.
Sophie, let's do a stretch for Sophie. Sophie, stretch. It's 2:30 in the morning now.
Yep.
I want everyone to know that I didn't keep her wait. I did let her know this is going to happen, and she volunteered to do this. And I'm not a mean person, but Sophie, thank you so much for waiting. I know that face is like, I don't know if you're not a mean person. So Sophie from TikTok, thank you.
Hi, guys.
Can
Yeah,
you say
sorry.
your
Go
title,
for it.
Sophie?
Yeah. Cool. I will do a little self-intro,
Yes,
although
please.
it's very late. But I'm definitely gonna lay out sort of what's going on, who am I, why am I speaking, and then without slides. So hi everyone, this is Sophie from TikTok for Business, meaning that I'm more on the ad side, less of a TikTok shop side of business. So I'm definitely going to touch upon about the ads, which is like a core topic that we're, speaking today for sure. And then sort of a little bit about my background. I've been with the company for almost 4 years, and then I've been sort of consulting and working with clients for all over the market. So I work a lot with clients who are they're investing and they're selling the Southeast Asia market, as well as right now the US is like a vibing and then like new and up and coming market for sure. So I work with clients who sell globally around. So I would say if we're Josh made a little comparison about how like sort of China, the Douyin part of the business is sort of the future, then I guess like Southeast Asia being sort of a year and a half ahead of the US market, I think we've definitely see how sort of this kind of thing start to the social commerce or sort of landing on a different market outside of China. We sort of see like a raw shape over there. And then right now we're trying to sort of replicate that again in the US market. So who knows if third time is a charm. So I definitely think, there's a lot of transferable sort of skills and experience that we're seeing from the Douyin part to the Southeast Asia market. Now we're talking about a US market. That was sort of an overview about like the type of client I work with, and also so the time that I've been with this company, and then sort of talking to people who want to understand what's going on here. So I think that's a little bit, go for it.
No, thanks, Sophie. So a couple of questions actually that came in no particular order, but one of them was the expansion plans for TikTok Shop. Right now, what countries is TikTok Shop currently in?
Also, currently, we're in sort of Southeast Asia. There's 6 markets that's currently available. So Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, and then the Philippines, and as well as Singapore. So that's sort of the 6 market where we're operating in Southeast Asia. And then those sort of opened around 2022, Indonesia being the first pilot one, meaning that it's a little bit early. It's like the end of 2021, we start operating over there. And then apart from that, the UK market is also alive. So basically you can also sell stuff in UK through TTS, as well as in the Saudi Arabic. Also, we have a presence over there. So they're actually sellers who are selling there as well. So TTS has like a bigger presence around different markets than people normally expected. Yeah.
What about Mexico, or what other countries are coming in the next 6 months or so?
Ooh, those kind of information, I think,
Okay.
no, it's not like a forbidden topic. It's just that we don't have better sort of visibility than sort of outside news. So usually when the outside news come out is when we sort of also know, oh, it's officially live. So like, let's just keep on waiting. There's a lot of buzz on the market, so who knows what's going on there.
But in general, if you have a product, if you can sell into, let's say, Saudi Arabia or the UK on TikTok, if you're a US company, you'd have your own account that's global Somebody would come to your account though from Saudi, it would be a separate account, or would it be the same account in Saudi that I have on TikTok?
I think in terms of the shop, it will be a separate identity. And then also for UK and the Saudi market right now, they're operating not through sort of a, how I describe, like a third party. Like for example, right now, the seller right now, you're like sort of onboarded to TikTok as an individual seller, meaning that sort of the how I describe that, meaning that TikTok as a marketplace, and then you as a seller, you sort of onboarded yourself and you sort of operate everything like we just talked about. Like you find creator yourself, you set up affiliate plans, you sort of manage your sort of inventory. But then for like Saudi Arabia, we call it like a full managed system, meaning that you are sort of like a supplier for the sort of place, but then you don't actually hand-to-hand operating everything yourself, meaning that you sort of set a price and you supply sort of your product to TikTok as a whole, and then TikTok will do the sort of operation for you. So it's a sort of different system. So say if you're a US seller, you're interested in selling in other market, there's definitely ways, but you have to find like a separate sort of mean and register to different ways.
To me, it sounds like, tell me if I'm wrong, it sounds almost like you'd have to do a fulfillment by TikTok kind of scenario if you're overseas. You place the inventory in with TikTok and they do the fulfillment.
It's just the Saudi market is like that.
Okay.
But then if you want to do Southeast Asia, there's also sort of you can also do like sort of PLP. It's as we sort of talk about like a individual seller marketplace kind of a situation is possible. Yeah, it's just the Saudi market right now is only fulfilled by TikTok, the main
What about
operating.
the UK market where we have lots of people
UK both.
also fulfillment by. Okay.
Yeah, there's fulfillment by TikTok and there's POP, sort of your third party seller kind of a situation going on as well.
And you'd have a separate account though. You'd have like the Van Bassett UK. I'd have to have a separate account on TikTok. Okay. And then for minimum orders for fulfillment by TikTok in the US, what is the minimum orders to be able to use fulfillment by TikTok? Do you know?
Minimum orders?
I think it's about 5,000 a day, I was told. So again, not for everybody in the US. Sorry, I'm hitting you with stuff, by the way. Sophie deals a lot with sellers outside of the US. So, and we didn't plan on it, but I'm stalling everybody because it's your time to ask questions directly to TikTok. So please pop them in here. Let us know what's going on. I have some other questions while we're thinking about it. When you're seeing the sales on TikTok, you're doing a lot of growth in, I hear, live shopping. What are the biggest differences between the sellers that you see in, let's say, TikTok in the US versus other markets? Are there things that the US brands should be thinking about to learn from these other markets?
I think right now live sort of is not like a main sort of format that people are selling with, meaning that most of the GMV right now is still coming from the short video, like we talk about, like with creator posting a short video with your product link. And that's how sort of GMV has been generated in the US market. But if we look across, I think in the Southeast Asia market right now, live stream has taken up more sort of percentage, meaning that a lot of the sellers, because there's two ways basically getting in your live revenue, right? Live GMV. One is what we call affiliate live, meaning that like you can also list your product over there if there's a creator who are interested in opening their live and then selling over there. Because right now all we talk about is short video, right? Then a creator can also go live, like we discussed. If you're 5K or above, you can freely open up your live stream. And with that, you can also just go on the affiliate market and then find whatever product you want to sort of go live for. And then you send a request. If the seller went through, you're able to actually sell it in your live room. So that's sort of the affiliate live we're talking about. The other format is definitely sort of from the business owner perspective. So if you're a business owner, like Taishan over here, if Taishan decided that I'm going to run sort of my own accounts, and then like I'm going to go live and I'm going to ask, there's a couple options. First of all, you can just go live as a small, medium business owner, that you're just the face of your brand. You can just go live by yourself. There's also kind of sort of the way that in China and a lot of the Southeast Asia sort of market right now, what they're doing is that they hire like specialized hosts, meaning they're live streaming hosts. They're not like a KOC or a big KOL. They're not famous. They're just professional sales. It's just live stream sales. person who's going to go on your official account and then, going to sort of introduce your product to the audience. And there's a live interaction element into that. So I think that's also a main format that's happening sort of in Southeast Asian market right now, that a lot of brands, they're going that direction. Yes, go for it.
Why do you think live shopping has been so effective in China and Southeast Asia, and why has it not been picking up here in the US?
I think the market needs sort of like how I describe, a process to adopt into this kind of a live commerce situation. Because like not everybody, first of all, from a user, a while back, TikTok is still like sort of a media platform that you have to sort of take into consideration that not all of the users on this platform are here looking to buy something. So they're not necessarily customer mindset. So not everybody want to watch a e-commerce live. A lot of them like to watch, we call it showroom live, for example, a sort of a game, online gaming like Switch,
Yeah.
right? Like Twitch,
Just
sorry,
saying
not
where,
Switch,
which
Twitch.
market? You're referring to which market when you say not everybody? You mean
US market.
For the US
Because the
market?
US market has a huge sort of live presence, but not like the e-commerce live presence is not as strong as we expected. Yeah.
Now, I've heard people, so for everyone else's, I've heard people talk about advice for live streaming in the US. And one of the concepts is this idea of this, what you called like a game show. So that to the extent that you can do things like a game show, I'm very curious if that would work in the US, but that's one of the recommendations I've heard.
Yeah, because there's actually a lot of like entertainment live room going on in the States that like there's like creators who just generally open live to discuss and chat to their fans, and then they're definitely the gaming type of thing where like two famous gamer or whatever is live streaming their gaming live, and there will be like people coming in to watch. It's just that e-commerce format is relatively new, because think about this, we launched sort of the entire TTS thing only last September, October-ish. So it's very new in general. And I would say like that's first thing first from the like sort of a customer behavior point of view, that like they're not really adapted to this format. But also that's sort of the demand side of things, right? Then we look at the other side, so the supply side of things, there ain't really that many professional hosts. Because I really echo a lot with what people have the previous speakers talk about. For example, you don't look at KOL, you don't look at their follow numbers, but you look at their capability of actually selling and then like recommending products to people. Very similarly, if you're a huge KOL and then you're really good at, I don't know, seeing or like posting picture, whatever, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're really like, sort of you have the charisma or whatever that is. When you go on live, you are trying to like explain a product, you're trying to, really sell. I think that's also on the supply sort of side, meaning that we don't have a lot of professional live stream sales hosts currently available in the States. So there's the talent that's missing. And also not all the business owner right now are sort of used to the fact that I would just go on live myself and I would just like talk about my product to sort of a camera, not knowing that how many people come in and whether they're gonna sort of converts, right? So I think that's sort of the two side of problem that we're seeing right now.
Okay. And again, you heard it straight from TikTok. They want to support the idea of live streaming. If you can and you're interested in getting on live streaming, now's the time. If you want me to live stream for you, I love selling stuff. I like talking and I'm happy to sell stuff. Okay. Any other questions or any other things you want to provide input on, Sophie? I know you've stayed up late and it's even later now.
Yeah, I think I would just, quickly wrap up, because I feel like I've heard a lot of idea from the beginning, and then right now sort of the main sort of 3-step golden formula that we're talking to sellers about, like if you want to start selling on TTS, what's going to be like the 3 main things you should watch out, so that it will naturally lead to your success, or there's a better chance of leading to your success. So I think if I have to sum up the 3 things I want to reiterate again, and then speaking to the audience, first, find your content. I think that's what we've been talking about a lot in the previous content, right? And the second thing is get into the rhythm. I'll explain that a little bit, sort of what's the rhythm that I'm referring to. And lastly is definitely amplifying everything through, ads effort, so that's like, you're doing 1 + 1 more than 2, less of it, you're doing everything separated. So the 3 sort of thing I will sort of expand a little bit. The first, find your voice, is definitely, for example, find your KOC. We talk about how, You want to find a person who's like your bestie next door and they really know very well about the product they're talking about. They're very enthusiastic. They really love the product. So they can better, recommend it to you. Less of a like, I will sell it to you. And don't just, one thing I want to add upon is that don't just collab with creators. You also have to pay attention to sort of the data you're seeing and then sort of find a key formula or the key sort of golden template for your content so that you can replicate it like really quick with more sort of creators to really amplify sort of the efforts. So I think that's the first part we spoke a lot. And then I will getting to the rhythm part. So because it's an e-commerce thing, so promotions and sales are critical for any e-commerce sort of businesses, right? So you gotta the key things here is definitely you gotta let your customer know you're having a big discount coming up. For example, if it's a Black Friday sale, or if there's like a big sort of mid-month promotion, whatever sort of schemes you're getting into, really want to let your audience know. So I know sort of there's like a table that Jay just showed about like, have the testing period and everything. I think that's very similar with the promotion and sell period as well, saying that you really want to ramp up sort of 7 days to 14 days before sort of your main sort of selling promotional period. And that ramping up is key because you want to let your audience know it's coming up by using, a lot of different features. I don't know whether you guys are familiar. There's like a counting sticker that's possible to set up when you upload a video. So it's really good for you to sort of do a countdown. For example, in 3 days of time, you're going to have a key live session where you're going to have the biggest discount happening. You really want to, before that, for example, 3 days ahead, 7 days ahead, starting to boosting your video or posting more video with the countdown sticker and then creating sort of that urgency of, in 24 hours, there's going to be like a big discount. If so, then that would be a really nice way to let your customer know that maybe beforehand they're not going to buy because it's a $30 deal, but in 3 days of time, there's going to be like a 50% off. Then like this, hopefully this customer will watch that video and then with the countdown sticker, what can come better is that you can actually link sort of a live event anchor on your video so that, for example, in 3 days of time, the live is going to happen. You want to use that countdown sticker as well as sort of the content you're speaking on and also the sort of description of your video to really direct people to click on the live event so that they RSVP for the big live stream. When they RSVP, two things will happen. They will follow your account. That's the first thing. You want to gain more followers, right? And the second thing is that when it really go live, TikTok's going to send a push notification to your sort of mailbox so that, even though you don't remember about a live, there's going to be a push notification to your account so that if you're scrolling on it, you will see that notification and hopefully you will click into your live session. That's how sort of you ramp up everything before sort of your key selling moment is that beforehand you use your short video platform or sort of short video efforts and everything to let your customer really know, hey, like I'm having a sell moment. That's sort of the arts or sort of the golden secret behind every sort of rhythm that you're talking about, why you need sort of a ramping up period. There's like the main period where you have sales. You want to keep your live up and coming so that more people, when they scroll, they will come into your live room. Hopefully they will buy because of the discount and everything. And after this, you sort of want to regroup and sort of review about the performance, what's working, what's not working, and then prepping for your next round. So that's the reason I'm talking about. Just a little bit extra for the Southeast Asia market, they have already sort of a rhythm that's like existing rhythm, meaning that every the first couple of days of the month, we call it double day, meaning that a double digit, for example, May the 5th or June the 6th, meaning they're all double digits. Those are sort of the main promotional period for the entire market, meaning that the customer always know there's going to be a sale. And so all the sellers need to really follow through that rhythm to really boost their sales. So I think that's sort of a getting to the rhythm. And lastly, amplify through ads. I won't expand on that. I think we've discussed a lot about that. But just one way I want to make sure everybody's seeing this is that look at ads as look at your creator content as your ammo for your ads. Because like we discussed, you can really use the sparkle or the existing top performing videos. And with that, you can use your money to boost those so that you can amplify that really great content and make more people see the content. And we discussed a little bit about like how long the organic content are as not vibrant as it was before. So I think internally we're revealing the stats, meaning that for organic content, if it's not like the sort of really viral content, usually the sort of the recommendation algorithm will only push through roughly 72 hours. That's the maximum lifespan of a generally like or like a normal organic content. It's gonna be sort of recommended in your For You page. Sort of that's like the maximum period. So meaning that after 72 hours, if this is not like a crazy viral content, nobody's gonna see it again. But if it has a really good organic data, you don't want to waste that as an ammo for selling more product. It's the most natural way for you to do what to sort of boost that content through your ads so that more people are going to see that amazing content, more people are going to buy it. You're actually, getting more out of your bucks, right? So that's really a good deal. So I just want to throw that out there as a sort of way of seeing ads. Not necessarily it's a bad thing if you use it well. It's actually, amplifying all your efforts on this sort of selling place. I mumble a lot, but then that's the sort of main 3 points I want to throw it out there.
For someone who's supposed to be tired, man, you kicked into gear. We appreciate this. Sophie, thanks for downloading this for us. We're going to post this again for everybody. We'll post it out there and get the word out. The top 3 highlights or things to do for TikTok growth.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie, thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. I appreciate it. Thanks for staying.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, we've got one more person coming up just to do a quick shout out. Brandon is great. He's got a program where he can bring apprentices to you and actually have it supplemented by the government. So Brandon, I'm going to make you a host really quickly for those folks who've stayed on. This is the treat right here. While he's coming on, thanks for sharing on your post as well. Okay, there he is.
Hey, Josh.
Brandon, how are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me on here.
Thanks. Tell us quickly what you do and how you can help everybody.
Yeah, so I'm the founder of Clear Digital Labs. Our company really specializes on training young, motivated talent in digital marketing, helping give them skills so that they can be successful on the job and then help them find job opportunities with employers. So we work with employers really located anywhere in the world. And we have talent that's ready to work now. We have funding from the government that helps support the training that they receive, and they will receive ongoing training while they're working for you. So we can train them for up to 36 months. They have a dedicated mentor who's an expert in digital marketing and who can help understand the needs of your business and really help you excel. It's a great way to, get lower paying talent that has high skill and is motivated and ready to work. So they can work, anywhere from 5 hours a week to 40 hours a week, and we can help you find the right individuals.
Thanks, Brandon. So just so you're for everyone's hearing it, here's the gap that Brandon's really fitting in my experience, right? You've got all these great companies, some of them SMB land, let's say, they don't want to hire an intern if they don't know that they're going to be effective, and it sometimes could be a time suck for them. Interns and schools that work with interns and apprentices don't want to assign them to a small business that may not have anybody to oversee them, or where they may get lost and not get the educational value. They step in, they've got an expert advisor who makes sure that the company gets what they need and the student gets what they need from a learning perspective. And all that is supplemented with funds that are in part from you as a company and in part by the government of the state of California. That's what we're doing here, right?
You got it. It's really a win-win. That's what we try to position. There's great programs also within the government to help fund some of the salary for the individual as well and some of the pay. So it's a really great opportunity. Would encourage you to reach out if you have any needs. If you need any support in marketing, please reach out. We can discuss and try to figure out a solution for you.
Awesome. And this is everything from Meta in terms of Instagram, Facebook. This is Google Analytics 4, for example, stuff like that. This is Amazon, all sorts of stuff. Possibly TikTok. We're going to start working in TikTok in there. Get you guys ready to go.
Yep.
Awesome.
All areas of digital marketing. We have mentors that are experienced in every area, right? So we can help train the individual if they're not skilled right now. We can train them in that area. Make sure they're ready to go.
Awesome. We'll post a link, and everybody, hopefully you can get in touch with Brandon. Brandon, thanks so much. I'm sorry that you had to wait so long, but it's awesome to see your. All right, you look great, man.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thanks.
Okay, so wrapping up here again, that was another Grow Big Initiative workshop. This one on TikTok. If you haven't seen it already, again, go to growbig.org/programs and check out all the other programs we have going on to teach you all about getting online and selling across multiple channels and geographies. I'm your host, Josh Halpern, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.